Hello, Niner Nation Family Association members. Today we are so excited to present to you 49 questions for our Dean Davis, who actually just received her doctorate. And so we want to say a huge congratulations to you.
Thank you.
We have been preparing for this for a really long time, and we're very excited to present this exclusive episode for you. And without further ado, let's get started.
Great. I'm ready.
Yes. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about life right now?
I would say I'm about an 8. So as you just mentioned, I just finished my doctoral program. So I get to reclaim some of my times, in the evenings and on the weekends and do whatever I want. But I also had always dreamed of going to Hawaii at the end of my doctoral journey. And so with COVID happening, that's going to have to be delayed a little bit. So I'm a little bit sad about that.
That makes sense. What's your favorite time of day?
My favorite time of day is dinner time with my husband and my kids. So I have an 18-year-old and a 12-year-old, and just that time of day when we are all together and we can all sit down and sort of chat about how things are going and what's happened during the day.
Awesome. And what's your dream country to visit?
Australia.
What's the biggest surprise you've had?
My biggest surprise was when my son, Cooper, who is a first-year student at Charlotte, told me he wanted to go to college at UNC Charlotte. So forever growing up, he told me he did not ever want to go anywhere that I worked. And since he had basically grown up around Charlotte and UNC Charlotte, he didn't think he wanted to go to school there. So he said he wanted to go as far away from home as possible, like California. So when he started visiting other schools and really, realized how great UNC Charlotte is and the kind of opportunities he could have here, and found out that no other university for him matched up to what Charlotte could provide to him, he announced that he was going to be applying to and really wanted to go to Charlotte. That was his first choice. So that was both a surprising moment and a pretty proud moment for me as well.
Yeah, well, I think he made a great choice.
I agree. And so does he. He still agrees.
So what are your go-to shoes?
I have a pair of gray Skechers slip-on sneakers that are my go-to shoes on a daily basis.
Do you prefer vintage or new?
Vintage.
Who's your style icon?
So I just took a BuzzFeed quiz on this actual question, and it's Meghan Markle.
What are 3 things you can't live without?
So this is gonna sound kind of sad, but my iPhone, because it connects me to so many things. Burt's Bees lip balm and my Peloton bike.
What's one ingredient you put in everything?
So I don't have an ingredient that I specifically put in everything, but I have an ingredient that I must have every day, and I can't explain it. I must have a spoonful of Jif reduced fat peanut butter every day. I'm kind of obsessed with it.
I love peanut butter too. What 3 people, living or dead, would you like to make dinner for?
The first would be my grandmother, Barbara Avery, who passed away when I was 21. The second would be my Uncle Scott, who was an aspiring chef when he passed away. And the third would be Brene Brown, the author and researcher, because I love her work. And I would love to just sit down with her and pick her brain about a bunch of different topics.
What is your greatest fear in life?
Snakes. I hate them.
Window or aisle seats?
Definitely a window seat.
What's your current TV obsession?
I have 2. One is streaming Hamilton on Disney Plus, and the second is Schitt's Creek.
Both of those are really good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite app?
Pinterest.
And do you have any secret talents?
I have an amazing sense of smell. It's really weird. I can smell things from like a mile away.
Wow. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
I would say moving several states away to go to grad school in a place that I knew nobody.
How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Emotional, compassionate, and optimistic.
What's a must-have clothing item that everyone should have?
I would say a very comfy sweatshirt.
What is inspiring you in life right now?
I think what's inspiring me are the younger generation of people, younger than myself at least, who have a really good understanding of what they believe in and what they stand up for, and ask challenging questions. I see this both in our students here at UNC Charlotte, who ask questions about university policies or processes, and also in my own kids. We have pretty deep conversations about the things that they see in the world. So those kinds of conversations and questions really lead me to consider what I stand up for and what I believe in, and cause me to pay closer attention to things that are going on around me.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Self-care is not selfish.
What's the best advice you would give to your undergraduate self?
I think I have a couple pieces of advice for my undergraduate self. The first would be to step outside of your comfort zone, take chances, don't be afraid to try something different, and don't pass up a chance to study abroad.
What's a book that everyone should read?
The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown.
And what would you like to be remembered for?
As somebody who truly cared about others.
What's the best way to take a rest or decompress?
For me, it's either getting a massage or sitting by a body of water, any body of water, a lake, a pool, the ocean. I just love the water and find it really calming.
This is a good question. If you were a song, what would your title be?
I think it would be, and I've actually thought about this a lot over the past couple of years. You get what you give. And so it's a song that is by the New Radicals, but I think that not all the lyrics in the song really relate to that, but I relate to the message of the song, because I believe in putting out love and positivity into the world, and I believe that when you do that, you get that back. So I really like the thought and the messaging around that specific title.
Oh, wow. I really like that. If you could master one instrument, what would it be?
It would be the violin. I tried to play it when I was younger. I wanted to play the flute because all my friends were playing the flute, but my mom already had a violin, so I played the violin, and I didn't think it was cool enough, so I gave up on it. But now, years and years later, I wish that I had stuck with it, because I think it's just a beautiful sound, and I wish I had mastered it.
Okay, this is a hard question.
Okay.
Dolphins or koalas?
Dolphins.
What's your spirit animal?
An otter, actually. I think because they're really cute, and they can be both chill and relaxed, but also playful and energetic and happy at the same time.
What's the best gift you've ever given?
So my husband and I missed out on a big celebration for our 20th wedding anniversary because I was so busy with doctoral work, and Disney is his favorite place. So on our 21st wedding anniversary, I surprised him with a vow renewal on a private cruise around Echo Lake at Disney.
Wow.
That was pretty cool.
Wow.
This question doesn't even compare to your answer for that one, but what is your favorite color?
It is green, of course, but honestly, it's always been green.
And what's your least favorite?
Beige. I just think it's blah.
You kind of already answered this, but green or gold?
Green, definitely.
And coffee or tea?
Tea.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
And what's the best thing to happen to you today?
Well, this is one of the best things to happen to me today. I'm very much enjoying getting to interact with you both and doing this, but it's actually going to happen right after this. I get to meet a student, see a student, catch up with them, socially distanced, of course, face to face. So we're going to find a place outside where it's maybe in the sun because it's kind of chilly today, but I really, really miss interacting with my students. So that the chance to get to see them, from 6, 8 feet apart and just catch up is going to be the best part of my day.
Oh, that's awesome. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
And what's a dessert you don't like?
I do not like tiramisu because I don't drink coffee, and that's all I can taste in that dessert.
What's a skill that you're working on mastering?
Delegation.
And what's a song you can listen to that's always on repeat?
Any song from the Hamilton Cast album. I've been listening to that album every day, multiple times a day sometimes, for months. So definitely that.
What's your go-to for having a good laugh?
I would say funny animal videos on YouTube.
And what's your favorite board game?
Trivial Pursuit, the 1980s edition.
Very specific.
Yes, it brings back nostalgic memories for me. So I really like that one.
What's your favorite smell?
It's a toss-up, either freshly baked or baking chocolate chip cookies, or the smell of citrus, orange to be specific. I just find that smell to be just very happy, and it always puts me in a good mood.
If you could switch lives with someone for a day, who would it be?
Yeah, I've also thought about that question in my past, and I've come down to, I think that I would want to switch lives with somebody who is a different race or ethnicity from me, because I think it would be really interesting to have that lived experience, and I think it would make me not only a better leader from a diversity, equity, and inclusion perspective, but just a better human being overall, to understand the perspective literally from inside the shoes of another person.
Wow. What's your wake-up ritual?
I hit my snooze button at least once. And then I try to find my glasses, which are usually on my nightstand right next to my bed. And then I look at my email to see what kind of emergencies might have happened overnight that I might need to address immediately. Check my calendar for the day to see what's on tap for me. And then I decide what Peloton ride I'm going to do that day.
And similar to that question, what's your go-to bed ritual?
Brush my teeth, wash my face, kiss my kids goodnight, and now that I'm done with my doctoral program, I actually read for fun as I'm going to bed. There are some nights that I will do a sleep meditation, but mostly just chill and relax.
What's your favorite spot on UNC Charlotte's campus?
Definitely the waterfall behind the College of Health and Human Services building. Being around water, as I said before, just relaxes me, and I just think it's just a beautiful and tranquil spot.
And what's your superpower of choice?
Teleportation.
Pilates or yoga?
That's tough because I like both of them, but I think that I would have to go with yoga, restorative yoga specifically.
And finally, our last question, what's your best advice for Niner Nation?
My best advice for Niner Nation is to rest and take care of yourself. Find something that brings you joy and energizes you. And that's not only true, every day, but now, especially during COVID and kind of the stress that's happening in our world, feeling like chaos, finding that space or that activity that fills up your cup, I think really helps recenter ourselves and helps motivate us to be resilient and take on the next challenge that's going to come for us.
Absolutely. Just to end things out, we again want to thank you for your time on this video and for just opening up to Niner Nation, especially our Niner Nation Family Association members. I know they're really going to appreciate this.
Go Niners!
Go Niners!
Go Niners!